again.
What is your business exactly?
I offer fair lodgings for a modest price to the poor and weary of Whitechapel.
I see. And what about those who cannot pay?
Well, deals can be done, if you know what I mean. Money's not the only currency. After all, I'm not immune to a pretty face.
It's not worth a lot. 1000 tops. If I can extract him.
You obviously place yourself above the misery of Whitechapel, but you are as repellent an individual as I have ever met.
Begging your pardon, I thought you was a man who could appreciate the complexity of the modern world. Things ain't just black and white, you know.
What help could I possibly be to your business?
That's simple. I already get good money from all those fleeing the war. Can you imagine what they'd be willing to pay if I could offer medical assistance too?
Mr. Bates, do not make me regret saving your life in this quarantine zone.
I understand, Dr. Reid, you're from a good family. Don't want to get your hands dirty. That's fine. I'll be happy to act as your middleman.
I'm no saint, but to take advantage as you do, you are a despicable man who could only prosper in these dark times.
So it's a no then. That's too bad. The Reid tonic could have really helped people, you know, save lives. Isn't that what you do? I mean, people buy that Swambra shit.
What?
That's simple.
Mr.
I understand. So it's an...
I'm looking for
Dorothy Craig.
Tell me truthfully, why are you so thankful?
By keeping my tenants alive, she's making me a rich man. Every month they live, it's more coin in my pocket.
Gun Bates, we got everything for him, and I guess we can kill him. He's a fucking asshole after all. For now I leave him alive, just for now, but that's easy 1000 XP out of him. And this is the main quest. I wanna avoid that for now. Check. Find Dr. Darius Petrescu. Succeeded. Ooh, what about Whitechapel? Like this. Find someone who can read Braille alphabet. Citizen quest succeeded. What's open here? Search for Tora Strickland's order. Find out who's spying on Thelma. Was the other one? Should be here. Fatigued. That's him. Treat him.
How are...
I'm not your...
Treat.
Do you need a sit?
Please.
Give medicine.
There you go. Let's hope nobody steals it from you.
Very funny.
Goodbye, young man.
Should be more stable now. District status. Guess it's time to go in, eh? Just explore a bit. There's more of them.
Good quality. Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid.
Alright, you first.
Welcome, sir. Please take a browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reid. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
Let's see what you got.
Right then.
Fancy
You never... Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane. So the bitch really is a nurse then? Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
So she's trying to help her fellow immigrants. Why would that make her a villain?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
Gives away drugs and medicine for free. She could be a fucking vampire, goddammit.
How is business around here?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
Joe Peterson. Tough financial situation. Barrett Lewis. Because of Joe's extortions. He's helped. Or to mesmerize.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
Well, you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
New investigation, trinkets and more. I'm gonna go for it.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Ah, skals. Alright.
Goodbye.
It's all with him. Joe Peterson. Speak with him too. Come on.
Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off!
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reid, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
Colossus Joe. Where's Dorothy Crane?
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine, and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
It's healthy. Free to mesmerize.
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well, too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle. Their dirty work.
Most people don't become thugs when unemployed. This is a choice you made.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons. And that's that.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy, sir.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best friend.
Joe Peterson. Joe and Barrett Lewis used to be good friends.
Goodbye.
That's all we got for him now. What about Barrett Lewis now? Do we get any options?
Fancy
You never...
Joe was a friend of yours.
Joe Peterson. He's the villain here, isn't he? But you seem to know each other.
I'd known Joe for years. I saw him box once or twice. He was a friend then. But these days, he's just another thug.
What's his story?
What can you tell me about Mr. Peterson? Besides his behavior toward you, obviously.
Colossus Joe was a decent boxer, good one even. But after his wife passed away, he found every excuse to stop training. Just wanted to pick fights with everyone.
Without making excuses for him, it's safe to say that despair can poison even the sanest mind.
We've all had some rough times, ain't we? But most of us don't use our fists to see us through.
And no one has ever stood up to this thug.
Nobody would be fool enough to stand against the Wet Boot Boy.
Goodbye for now.
Alright, who else is here? Unknown. Where the fuck are you? Inside? How do I get in? There's the hideout. How do I get in? Like, come on.
So you only hurt people because you care about me? Is that it?
Don't be such a brat. I do what I must to provide us with food and medicine, that's all.
Mum would never have let you bully an old friend like Mr. Lewis. Shame on you.
Harry, I'm your father and I love you. But don't you ever speak to me like that again.
What? You're gonna beat me too?
Jesus. Give me patience.
info about him. One last hint. How do I get to them? There's gotta be a way. Uh-huh.
I suspect they would rather not be disturbed for now.
You again?
Why is your relationship with your son so difficult?
Harry and I are so different. Sometimes I wonder if he's my own blood. Seems he's ashamed to be my son.
Why not change that then? If you used your strength to do good, perhaps Harry wouldn't feel that way about you.
How dare you tell me what I should or shouldn't do with my boy? Who the fuck are you to interfere like that?
I mean no harm to your family. But if you want my advice, this is no place to raise a child.
No matter where we live, Harry will always be sick and frail. At least here, I'm respected. And no one will ever dare touch him.
Harry Peterson. Still need to talk with him.
Goodbye, Mr. P.
Alright, can we enter now?
Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reid, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Let me in.
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me then? Okay then. Come on in. I'm Harry, by the way.
Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
Peterson's house. Let's see if we can get some clues before we speak with him. Maybe I'm time limited here. There we go. New collectible. Professional vampire hunters. The Guard of Priven. Job refusal letter. Wet boot boys. I got all the hints on Joe Peterson. 3000 XP worth. That's great.
It's locked, all right.
Nice shit. Those shillings. Let's speak with his son.
Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
How about that safe behind you? Large box of pills.
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Can mesmerize him immediately. He's not worth much, fatigued. Let's cure him.
Do you need any medical help?
Yes, I do. I feel so...
Give medicine.
You'll feel better with this. But you need to get a grip, young man. Medication alone won't cure melancholia.
I'm not sure I'm happy with the idea of living long in the world.
Dorothy.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
Yes, I know her. She came here to examine me when I was very sick. She said I should go out more.
You and your father have a difficult relationship, Harry. Tell me, did he ever hurt you?
No, never. My father can be brutal and rude, violent even. But he never touched an hair on my head.
What is going on between you two then?
It's his job, if you can call it a job.
He bullies people. Men and women we know, like poor Mr. Lewis. It's just not right.
Your father and Mr. Lewis used to be good friends. What happened, Harry?
I was young then. I don't remember Mr. Lewis ever coming back again after my mother died. Or was it after my father started bullying him? I don't know.
Did you talk to Mr. Lewis?
Have you tried speaking to Mr. Lewis about it?
I don't go out often, but yes. And he scolded me and told me to leave him alone. I guess my father frightens him too much.
But you are not responsible for your father's actions.
Am I not? Dad always says that he joined that gang for my safety. So if I wasn't born, people wouldn't be worrying about Colossus Joe.
Would it ease tensions with your father if he got an honest job? Because he tried, you know.
I can't say. I'd be glad if he dropped his thuggish activities. But I'm not sure it would be enough.
Why is that?
Sometimes I suspect it's me, Dr. Reid. Or it's this life. It's like I can't find my place.
How do you feel?
I'm fine. I mean, it's not easy every day, but I'm fine. I'm just tired of being sick all the time. If only I could be tough like... Well, you know.
Speaking of which, what can you tell me about your father?
My father is an idiot who makes idiot things. That's all I have to say.
Idiot who makes idiot things.
Forgive my bluntness, young man, but you don't seem happy living in Whitechapel.
Why should I? I never wanted to come here in the first place. It was my father's decision. And look around you. Does this look like a nice place to live?
Got everything about him, but only 1000 XP. Often sick. Didn't want to live in Whitechapel. Difficult relationship with his father.
This place is awful, I agree. But does that not mean your situation can only improve?
That's exactly what my father says. Harry, you should be grateful for what you've got. But I wasn't even consulted when we moved here.
If life here is so terrible for you, why don't you just leave this place? Have you ever spoken to your father about it?
I don't go outside. It terrifies me so. I went outside once without my father noticing and I saw terrible things. Bloody and frightening things.
So that's why you stay at home all day? For fear of the epidemic?
I'm not afraid of disease or death, Dr. Reid. It's the living I'm afraid of.
Goodbye, young man.
Alright, out!
Pain and suffering.
Where is that bully? Joe Peterson.
Where's my money?
Yo. Let's see
You
if we got
again?
something now.
What do you want this time?
There we go.
Harry doesn't seem happy living in Whitechapel. Why did you make him come here?
I've always put my son's interests above everything else, whatever he may think. Our house is small but affordable. The walls are thin, but the door is solid.
You really love your son, don't you, Mr. Peterson?
He's my pride and joy. Even if he hates me for the choices I make and pushes me buttons more than he should.
Since the criminal nature of your job means you could be arrested, are you not afraid of what would happen to your boy if you were?
No one will ever take my son away from me. If that ever occurred, I'd hunt the bastard down and rip off his head with my bare hands.
Is that so?
Do you have any regrets?
Only one. Not to have my beloved wife by my side. She died when Harry was little. My sweet Jane. She gave the boy confidence.
Why do you keep on working for the gang, Joe? You know it doesn't suit you.
It's true, I hate this job. And I know I made some bad choices, but I'm a wet boot boy now. And people won't forget it.
You could leave tomorrow. Start another life in another town.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. We are poor. My son's weak, and there's no way he'll endure another disappointment.
Goodbye.
That's all we have for him. Oh, who else is available? What's this?
Good evening, Harry.
Okay,
May I come in?
back.
Sure,
No,
sure.
no,
Is there only pain
Back.
and suffering in this world?
fuck him. Go somewhere else. Who's this? Unknown. Unknown. Talk to that priest first. Hey.
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reid, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
What? It is worth a lot. Healthy. 5 to mesmerize. Where's
Do you
Dorothy?
know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
Why I hate Nurse Crane?
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in our country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
Dorothy was a clandestine resistant in Homeland. She's the pillar here.
So, you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fiber.
Have you any friends? Any family left in these terrible times?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I sent him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
Where did you send them?
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
You sent him on some
Holy
preaching
crusade
crusade
in your
during the
investigation.
epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
I am. But the answers I seek are based on facts, not superstition. I have heard enough.
Nothing about him. Okay, whatever. This leads to behind the chapel. Not gonna go there yet. There was someone else here. Saw someone.
You are blinded by your false faith, imprisoned by your daily routine.
You. Who are you?
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reid.
Dr. Reid,
It's
the
with his
famous
glasses.
surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
What the fuck is that? Shit.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
I'm convinced there is more at work here than a simple epidemic.
Really? To be honest, I could say the same. Some of the sick I saw or heard of. My God, what happened to them?
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
Clayton Darby. What are you, fatigued? I can't treat now. Shit. Or to mesmerize.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
It's a disgrace. People are left to die alone. No one is properly informed of the risks.
These are bad times indeed. So much for the glorious British Empire.
Goodbye.
Nothing I can do with him now. Alright, what is this shit? What's the point? What's the fucking point? Can't go anywhere here and this shit is locked. Unknown. Or you?
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reid.
I think there's one or
To
two
ask
more
you
to
a few
speak with,
questions.
and then I got all of them.
I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm.
Penny Dreadfuls. She doesn't speak.
I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it?
What the fuck? She's healthy, 5 to mesmerize. Camellia. Social circle with someone here. 3 left, eh? There's 3. Most of them are sick. It becomes serious now. Shit. Okay, 2 recovering, 3 recovering, 3 recovering.
Very well.
Nothing I can do with her. She doesn't want to speak. It's locked. This is not locked, but I don't want to go in the old road. Should go for the main quest, maybe. Come past here. Clayton Darby. Still can't get this. Unknown. For you.
Don't be shy, handsome. What can Christina do for you?
I'm not looking for what you're selling.
Nah.
But I'd like to ask you a few questions, if I may. I'm a doctor. Dr. Reid.
All right then, but be quick. Though I usually get paid when I open my mouth.
Fatigued too. Or to mesmerize.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane?
I don't know her, but I know her name is Dorothea Crasionescu. She
Crasionescu.
came from Romania like me and many others.
You seem to respect her.
Dorothea helps the sick people of Whitechapel. Everyone should respect that.
Tell me about yourself.
Are you joking with me? People don't usually come to see me for conversation.
I have no interest in your work. I am, however, curious as to what led you into this career.
Short story. The war, exile, and England. This country is not especially welcoming. I've been refused many jobs because of where I am from. I had few options left.
Christina Poppa. Could not find a decent job because she was a migrant. Fatigued. Social circle with Clayton Darby. What? With journalist?
I always thought I was the master of my own fate. But now I know we don't always have control over our lives. I don't judge you.
You know, this money is not only for me. I have good reasons to need this money quickly. But it is not your concern, Doctor.
Christina, have you been examined? The epidemic is spreading fast in London, and you could be exposed, or expose others.
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I don't like you asking questions.
Wonder where your client's health.
You can put your own life in danger, that's your decision. But what about your clients? If you're contaminated, you will put them in danger too.
And you think that would worry me? If you knew the men I deal with, their health would not be what you'd worry about.
Considering your line of work, I assure you it is only a matter of time before you have health issues.
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now, I need money. That's what's important.
Clayton Darby claims he will expose the crisis in Whitechapel to all of London. Do you believe him?
I believe Clayton's courage will erode with time, until he finally leaves Whitechapel to start another fight somewhere else.
Why this skepticism?
How can you speak about starvation if you've never been hungry? Or about poverty? Or anything else you have never suffered from?
Are you talking from experience?
I've seen your type come here to get a good fuck in a cheap room or a dark alley before going back to their fancy houses in the West End.
Oh shit, okay, back. Nothing else we can do here. There's one more remaining to speak with, eh? Can we? You can't get up there. Nice shit. Christina Poppa. Where was the journalist now? There's the preacher, Father Tobias, Whitaker, Poppa, Joe Peterson. What's here? Fuck this, back. I don't wanna fight, I don't need to, not yet. There is a main quest. Harry. Lewis. Bates. That's the Main quest. I wasn't here. Yeah. It's locked. How was I here though? No, somewhere else. This is locked, eh? Of course it is. Been there. One is unknown. And that's all we got here. I guess this is locked too. Yeah. Alright, we stick with this one. He's the last one, I guess. This is the main quest.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reid. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
That's it!
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
From where? From fucking where? From here. Come on. Come on. Is that Dorothy? Yeah, that's her. What is she doing?
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be for Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
Hint available. Darius Petrescu, social circle with someone else, I don't know with whom. Bronchitis. Camellia.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
Richard Nithercott, Clayton Darby. What was the fastest way to reach them? Not from here. What's this? Skals, rogue skull, day skull. Let's kill them. A bit of fighting. Oh shit. This about? Where are we? Whitechapel. Maybe I can unlock some doors like this. Large beast. Holy shit, I fucking hate them. Oh my god. Oh my god. instead. Can resist. I shit. To the rich blood sample. Skals. What's this area about? What were you guarding? Let's see. What's this shit? I wanna investigate here. There's one more, eh? From up there. Let's check out.
This could be the box Lewis thought he lost.
Small box. That's a side quest.
A love letter from Joe Peterson's wife, addressed to Barrett Lewis. Who should I give it to, I wonder?
I wonder the same thing now. Can give that to 2 persons. And there is no save option. Once I pick, that's it. Blood. What's with this area? Prevent. Come on, get it. Rogue skull. Was there anything else up here? I guess not. What about here? Blood. What the fuck now? Ah, it was way around. Okay. What's this? I'll get back here. later. Box of pills. Can't go up. Alright, deal with them then.
Watch yourselves!
Kill the fuckers first. What are you doing with that shit? What is that? Motherfucker. Stop with that shit.
Want some of that? Let's hit him!
Can we open it from here? No. I hear a baby cry. I can hear a baby cry. Let's find Clayton in the area. Is that it here? And this is circling around only. I know where it leads to. Alright, Clayton, Tobias, Whitaker, Barrett, Peterson. Where's the journalist? Christina. Should you be around here somewhere? Fucking damn it, where are you? Here maybe? Motherfucker. Where is he? There you are.
Good evening, Doctor.
Christina Popper claims she sells her body because she can't find any other work. Do you believe her?
Of course I do. Her story is exactly what I want my readers to understand. We live in an intolerant and divided nation.
Do you think things will ever change, Mr. Darby?
I believe the situation can only improve. And now that women can vote, I'm convinced things will change.
Right.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
Care about public health?
I'm a doctor, Mr. Darby. I care about everything involving public health and this epidemic.
Are you sure you're not just concerned about the repercussions that a scandal involving a certain Nurse Crane from the Pembroke Hospital would bring?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious, never goes out, doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He has no relatives at all?
No, except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nithercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
We'll go behind the church immediately.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
Can't cure him.
Goodbye, Mr. Dark.
Let's go behind the church.
Farewell.
Find Richard, Nithercott, find the mailbox and the letter. That's all close. Let's find the mailbox and the letter, then we go behind the church. Mailbox and the letter, it should be here. Find the mailbox. There we go. Darius Petrescu letter.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter.
If I want to enter like that, but we need to speak with this one too. See if we can do it from here.
I cannot enter.
Ay fuck, how do I get in? I can't get in from the church, no. I need a way in. The other side maybe. I doubt he knows. Let's see, maybe he let us in. No? How about we speak with him?
Good evening. I have
nothing I can do with him. How about here? There we go. Skulls. Have you turned into a skull or what? Holy shit, there's a lot of you. And blood. Is that him? No. Can we get in the church? Go up. Anywhere?